Alright, so Return of the Jedi kicks off with our heroes in a real pickle. Han Solo, you remember, got frozen in carbonite by that slime ball Jabba the Hutt back in Empire. Princess Leia, she's not about to let her man stay on ice. She hatches a plan to infiltrate Jabba's palace on Tatooine, disguised as a bounty hunter named Bush. She even sneaks Chewbacca in, all chained up like a captive. Lando Calrissian, always the smooth operator, is already undercover inside Jabba's palace. But things go south quick when Jabba sees right through Leia's disguise. She ends up Jabba's prisoner, forced to wear that ridiculous metal bikini. It's a classic case of damsel in distress, but Leia, she's tougher than she looks, believe me. Luke Skywalker, meanwhile, he's become a real Jedi badass. Over the course of his journey, he's honed his skills, faced numerous challenges, and emerged stronger each time. Now he's ready to take on one of the most notorious crime lords in the galaxy. He shows up on Tatooine with a plan of his own. This isn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. Luke has thought this through. He knows the risks, but he's determined to save his friends. His arrival on Tatooine is marked by a sense of purpose and resolve. He tries to negotiate Han's release, but Jabba, he's all about that Hutt life. Jabba's palace is filled with all sorts of unsavory characters, and the air is thick with tension. Luke remains calm and collected, using his Jedi mind tricks to try and sway Jabba. But Jabba, being the shrewd and stubborn Hutt that he is, refuses to budge. No respect for a Jedi master. Jabba sentences Luke and the gang to a slow death in the Sarlacc pit. It's a cruel and unusual punishment designed to instill fear and demonstrate Jabba's power. The Sarlacc pit is infamous across the galaxy, and even the bravest of souls would shudder at the thought of being thrown into its maw. Now the Sarlacc, that thing's the stuff of nightmares. It's a monstrous creature buried in the sands of Tatooine with only its gaping maw visible. The pit is surrounded by jagged rocks and shifting sands, making escape nearly impossible. It's like a giant sand pit with teeth and tentacles, and it digests you for like 1,000 years. The Sarlacc's digestive process is slow and excruciating, ensuring that its victims suffer for an eternity. The mere sight of it is enough to send chills down anyone's spine. Not a fun way to go, man. But Luke planned for this. He knew that Jabba wouldn't give in easily, and he prepared for the worst. As he's led to the pit, Luke remains focused and ready to act. His friends, though anxious, trust in his plan and stand by his side. He ignites his lightsaber and all hell breaks loose on Jabba's sail barge. The moment is electrifying as Luke's green lightsaber cuts through the air. The guards are caught off guard, and chaos erupts. Luke moves with precision and grace, taking down enemies left and right. During the chaos, Leia uses the chains that bind her to strangle Jabba. It's a powerful and symbolic moment, as Leia takes control of her own fate. Jabba, who once seemed invincible, is brought down by the very chains he used to imprison her. Talk about taking out the trash. The good guys fight their way off the barge and blow the whole thing to Kingdom Come. The battle is intense, with blaster fire and explosions all around. But our heroes are determined and resourceful, working together to overcome the odds. Han's free, Jabba's toast, and the galaxy is one step closer to freedom. The destruction of Jabba's sail barge is a turning point, a victory for the Rebel Alliance. It's a moment of triumph and hope as the heroes look toward the future with renewed determination. The galaxy still has a long way to go, but with heroes like Luke, Leia, and Han, there's always a glimmer of hope. But don't break out the Ewok celebration feast just yet. The galaxy is far from safe and the battle is far from over. The Empire is building a new Death Star. This isn't just any ordinary space station, it's a colossal weapon of mass destruction. And this one makes the first one look like a toy. It's bigger, more powerful, and more terrifying than anything we've seen before. To make matters worse, Emperor Palpatine, that creepy old dude with the Darth Vader voice, is pulling the strings behind this sinister project. He's coming to oversee the Death Star's completion personally. His presence alone sends shivers down the spine of even the bravest rebel fighters. See, the Emperor, he's been watching Luke, sensing the young Jedi's power. He knows that Luke is a threat to his reign, but also a potential asset. He wants Luke to join the dark side, to become his new apprentice. The Emperor believes that with Luke by his side, the Sith will be unstoppable. The Rebel Alliance, they get wind of the Emperor's plan. Their spies and intelligence officers work tirelessly to uncover every detail. They know this is their chance to strike back against the Empire once and for all. The stakes have never been higher, and the fate of the galaxy hangs in the balance. They hatch a daring plan to destroy the Death Star before it becomes operational. It's a risky mission, but the rebels are determined to see it through. But to do that, they need to take out the shield generator protecting it. This shield is the Death Star's first line of defense, and it's nearly impenetrable. The shield generator is located on the forest moon of Endor. This moon, covered in dense forests and inhabited by the Ewoks, is the key to the Rebels' success. The Rebel Alliance begins to prepare for the battle of a lifetime. Troops are gearing up, pilots are readying their ships, and strategists are finalizing their plans. In secret briefings, Alliance leaders discuss the strategy. They know that timing is everything, and one wrong move could spell disaster. The Rebel fleet assembles, a diverse collection of ships from across the galaxy. Each pilot knows the risks, but they also know the importance of their mission. An infiltration team is sent to Endor to disable the shield generator. This team, composed of the best soldiers the Alliance has to offer, faces a daunting task. The terrain of Endor is challenging, with thick forests and hidden dangers. The Rebel soldiers must navigate this treacherous landscape while avoiding Imperial patrols. Fortunately, the Ewoks, the native inhabitants of Endor, decide to assist the Rebel Alliance. Their knowledge of the land and guerrilla tactics prove invaluable. Together, the Rebels and Ewoks plan their attack on the shield generator. It's a collaboration of courage and cunning, with both sides bringing their strengths to the table. As the battle begins, the Rebel Alliance and Ewoks launch a coordinated attack against the Imperial forces. Blaster fire and arrows fill the air as the fight for Endor rages on. Meanwhile, in space, the Rebel fleet engages the Death Star and the Imperial fleet. It's a massive space battle, with ships weaving through laser fire and explosions. And at the heart of it all, Luke Skywalker confronts Emperor Palpatine. It's a showdown between Jedi and Sith, light and dark, with the fate of the galaxy in the balance. The epic battle scenes unfold, showcasing the bravery and determination of the Rebel Alliance. They fight not just for victory, but for the freedom of the galaxy. In the final moments of the battle, the Rebel Alliance pushes through, overcoming incredible odds. Their triumph is a testament to their resilience and unwavering spirit. As the dust settles, the galaxy rejoices in the victory. The threat of the new Death Star is no more, and the hope for a brighter future shines once again. Now you can break out the Ewok celebration feast. The battle is won, but the journey continues. The galaxy will always need its heroes. So, the Rebels send a strike team down to Endor, led by Han, Leia, Chewbacca, and Luke. They run into these little furry creatures called Ewoks. They're like teddy bears with spears and a taste for roasted Stormtrooper. At first, the Ewoks think C-3PO is some kind of god. Hey, I'd worship a protocol droid if he levitated my chair with his mind, too. Anyway, the Ewoks agree to help the Rebels blow up the shield generator. But before they can get down to business, Luke drops a bombshell on Leia. They're twins. Yeah, it turns out Luke and Leia are brother and sister. Awkward family reunions don't get much weirder than that. Luke knows he can't hide from his destiny. He surrenders to the Imperial forces and confronts Darth Vader. He believes there's still good in his father. The Emperor, he's loving this. He wants Luke to tap into his anger, his fear. He knows those emotions are the path to the dark side. Luke and Vader, they have this epic lightsaber duel. They're fighting on this catwalk over a seemingly bottomless chasm. It's like something out of a heavy metal album cover. Just when it looks like Luke might give in to his anger, he sees Vader's robotic hand. He remembers what Obi-Wan Kenobi taught him. A Jedi uses the Force for knowledge and defense, never for attack. Luke throws down his lightsaber. He's not going to fight anymore. The Emperor, he's furious. "If you will not be turned, you will be destroyed," he says, unleashing a torrent of Force lightning on Luke. The room is filled with the crackling sound of raw energy, and the air smells of ozone. Luke writhes in agony, his body convulsing under the relentless assault. Vader, he's watching his son get fried by this evil space wizard. His mind races, torn between his loyalty to the Emperor and the love he has for his son. The conflict within him is palpable, a storm of emotions that threatens to tear him apart. He can't take it anymore. The sight of his son suffering is too much to bear. In that moment, something shifts within Vader. The dark side's grip on him loosens, and the remnants of Anakin Skywalker resurface. With a surge of newfound strength, Vader grabs the Emperor, lifts him up over his head, and chucks him down a reactor shaft. The Emperor's screams echo through the chamber as he plummets into the abyss, his malevolent influence finally extinguished. The Emperor's gone, destroyed by his own hate, but Vader, he's mortally wounded. The battle has taken its toll on him, and he knows his time is short. He asks Luke to take off his mask. His voice, once so menacing, now carries a note of vulnerability. He wants to look on his son with his own eyes, to see the face of the boy who believed there was still good in him. With trembling hands, Luke removes the mask, revealing the scarred and pale face of Anakin Skywalker. For the first time in decades, Anakin's eyes are free from the dark side's corruption. He gazes at Luke, his expression a mixture of pain and peace. With his dying breath, Vader tells Luke he was right about him. There was still good in him after all. The words are a final redemption, a father's acknowledgement of his son's unwavering faith. Luke escapes the Death Star with his father's body, just as Lando leads the rebel attack, destroying the Death Star. The space station erupts in a series of cataclysmic explosions, a fitting end to the symbol of the Empire's tyranny. As Luke pilots his ship away from the Inferno, he reflects on the events that have transpired. The galaxy has been given a chance at freedom, and the legacy of Anakin Skywalker has been redeemed. The Death Star's fall marks the end of an era and the beginning of a new hope for the future. The galaxy is safe, the Emperor is dead, and the Empire is in ruins. The rebels, they throw a giant party on Endor to celebrate. They're dancing, they're singing, they're roasting Ewok snacks over an open fire. Luke sees the Force ghosts of Obi-Wan, Yoda, and yes, even Anakin Skywalker, redeemed at last. The galaxy is free to rebuild, and the Force is in balance once again. The Return of the Jedi ends on a note of pure hope. The good guys won, the bad guys are gone, and the future is bright. And that, my friends, is why Return of the Jedi is the most triumphant ending in the galaxy. Snoochie Boochies.